Welcome to Horror on Air.
Oh shit!
Yeah,
You're, you're,
where we talk
where we talk all things horror.
on the air.
Your hands are cold. So on this week's piss poor plan piss poor planned episode of the week, we're
Hey,
going to
we're
talk
giving them
about.
something.
We're giving you something you should be fucking grateful. The
Yeah.
12 of you.
Well, yeah, I think we're being generous to ourselves there. There's
Yeah,
maybe three that are going to watch this, or the rest will be accidentals. Just
yeah.
like me, I was an accidental.
Me too. Hey,
Excuse me.
but
Um.
today we were going to talk about phobias.
Oh, yeah, I thought it was stripper glitter, but okay, phobias. It is fears. Let's do it.
So me and Al over here, and when I say that, I mean Al. Uh, he scrounged them internets and came up with just kind of a random assortment of different phobias that are kind of common, kind of not so common, just kind of an array of different phobias. And we spent about an hour.
I didn't do shit. Like I haven't been busy. I took a nap. Uh, I I got the phobias, and then like I was like, "Here you go, Henry," and then I told him I was like, "I'll look some stuff up too." I never did. So everything
I
else is Henry's work. I gotta give him credit.
oh Jesus. Either way, I started kind of scrounging around for movies, scenes of movies for the different types of phobias uh that you came up with. I am probably going to butcher um 96.4% of the names of these phobias, but I will tell you what the fear of so you can actually understand it. So entomophobia would be the fear of insects. So
Entomophobia.
uh in other words, my wife, if it flies, she gone. Even if it jumps and slightly resembles flying, she gone. Um,
Yeah.
I just, I kind of briefly came up with two movies. Both are extremely cheesy sci-fi movies. The first one is called Mosquito. It came out in 1994. I sent you a couple of still shots. Did you look up the one video and watch it?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
It's fucking great.
excellent. It is exactly the way it sounds. It is mosquitoes the size of Saint Bernards, and they have come to wreak havoc on a small town. And that's really all you have to say about that. Giant flying insects. And that, like I said, that came out in 94. And then we'll fast forward to 2007 real quick to a movie called Ice Spiders. And holy shit, is that a fucking fever dream if I've ever seen one? And you've never
Oh
seen
yeah.
either one of those two movies, have you?
I have seen when I went back and watched that video, I have seen one time mosquito when I was like fucking 8. So yeah,
Right. Have you ever seen ice
I
spiders though?
have not.
And see,
I
we'll
have not.
chalk that up as a win. Normally, I'm the one that hasn't seen anything. So,
But no, like that's here's the thing, the that phobia, like you see like there's arachnophobia, which is that's an arachnid, not necessarily an insect, but very similar type of thing. But how often do you see
um,
movies? Are you still? Did you just say something?
yeah, I kind of muttered.
Oh, okay, okay. Your mutter didn't come through. But how often do you actually like that's not something I would consider a widely used phobia in movies. But you know, uh
I
you
mean,
ever seen you ever seen Bug Buster?
long time ago,
It's
yes.
it's like 96, 98, or some shit like that. Randy Quaid's in it. Absolutely fucking ridiculous.
Or like one of my
But
favorite movies from the '50s, Them.
right, yeah.
You know, it's,
Exactly.
it's giant ants. Aim for the antenna.
Right.
I fucking love that
So
shit.
but somebody had to be like, well shit, we're not afraid of mosquitoes right now, but if they were the size of a goddamn Greyhound bus, they'd be terrifying. So let's make a movie
Exactly.
about it.
I just had a conversation with Squirt a while back about that very same thing. So
In case y'all haven't
my
caught on by now, Squirt is his youngin. Not that ain't
yes, right, yes.
that's not a nickname for a partner or anything. You know what I'm saying?
But Squirt is very much into Pokemon still, and which is cool. I don't mind it. I can't keep up as much as he can. Um, but he came up to me one day and he was like, "Wouldn't it be fucking awesome if Pokemon were real?" And I thought about it for a second. And when I was a kid, there was a Pokemon called Beedrill. And if you look at the card, it's a 3.5 foot tall fucking bumblebee with like spears for arms and a giant fucking stinger. And I'm like, that alone is enough to keep me in my basement for the remainder of my fucking
Yeah,
life.
fuck that.
Right. But either
Mhm.
way, ice spiders. That's where um military lab in a mountain, coincidentally right beside a ski resort. Because that just spells America
Right.
at its finest. But radioactive, uh, cold weather loving spiders that are the size of a full grown elk. Um, start wreaking havoc on a ski resort, and the rest is history. But so if you don't like bugs, or if you're afraid of bugs, that those are two great specific horror movies to you, and anything bug related. But those two were just the ones that I picked, and then we move on to the second one that that my wife has, and that is a nyctophobia, which is the fear of the dark.
Does she does she have all these?
No, I think these are the only two. Let me. We'll just throw my wife in there when I get to them. I think it's only these. There might be one or two other ones. But fear of the dark. There's darkness in most horror movies to an extent, whether it's a dark room or outside at night. Like fucking the Blair Witch Project is 80% dark. The two that I picked because they're fun movies to watch is the first one is from 2010. It's 30 Days of Night. It's the little town in Alaska that the sun sets and it doesn't come back up for like 30 fucking days. And hell yeah, vampires.
Right.
But the other one, I think you said you never saw this one either, and that was The Ritual from
Yeah, the
back in
ritual I haven't seen yet.
yeah, back that was 2017. It wasn't too long ago.
I've heard a lot
Um,
of good about it,
it's
but
a
haven't seen it.
good fun movie. Like I wouldn't rank it up there as like one of the scariest of all times. As far as
Right.
fear factor goes, I wouldn't even put it in my top 50. But it's a good, entertaining movie, and I'm surprised I've picked two already that you haven't seen yet. I feel
Right.
like happy. I can
Yeah.
feel it
That one
right in the cockles of my heart.
I'm concerned about your cockles. Um, but no, the fear of the like that's I think probably somewhere in the 90 to 99% range of horror movies. At some point in the movie, uh, take that one and borrow it and use it. It might not necessarily be what the whole movie like darkness falls. Like the dark is that means the end of your life. Lights out, which isn't a terrible movie, but the fucking 3 minute, 2 or 3 minutes short was far more terrifying.
Yeah.
But the like those specifically, the dark means that's it, you're done. But
Um,
there's two movies that are really good movies, but they're not based on the fear of the dark, but they borrow it really well. I guess one of them, and I'm gonna save one of them because we're gonna talk about it later. But
all right.
specifically this one, I can't. Oh, Silence of the Lambs at the end where she goes
Okay.
into his house and realizes this guy is the killer, and then all the power goes out, and he's
Yeah.
looking at her through the goggles, and she can't see him, and he's like kind of playing with her a little bit. He ends
Yeah.
up, well, spoiler alert if you haven't seen it yet, fucking go watch it. He gets his in the end, but that's probably some of the most tense scenes in the entire movie right there when it's pitch black dark and she can't see him, but he can see
That
her.
is a pretty good scene. So next is called Dementophobia.
Yeah, there was a couple of names for this, but that's legit, like supposedly the most used one.
Okay, well
Uh,
that is the fear of insane people.
and yeah, insane people or insanity, itself.
Yeah. The two that I selected for this was 2000's American Psycho because you get to watch, Christian Bale essentially just plummet into 100% insanity.
Oh yeah,
Like
he
throughout.
starts out as a little fucked in the head, but yeah, you watch him
Well, yeah,
fucking.
but I mean, he's a little he's over the edge a little bit, but it just progresses more and more and more and more, throughout the entire movie. But the true showcase is 1980's The Shining with Jack Nicholson's character. That goes from like nice happy family to holy fuck, you know,
Right.
pretty fucking quick. But it doesn't have the hedge monsters in it. That's the one thing that left out the book that I wanted to see in the movie. But we got
But they
Jack
gave us some
Nicholson.
maze. They gave us a maze where he could freeze to death.
He
So,
did, yes, but
there's that.
pro and con. But both of those are they're fun for me as far as like the insanity factor goes because you get to watch the levels of insanity.
Right.
As it goes on, it starts off and it's like, man, I think I'm losing my mind, and then it comes into like, holy shit, I might be really losing my mind, and then it's just, aha, you know,
Right.
full blown gone.
Yeah.
Uh, I love insanity. I'm insane. Uh,
There's been a lot of movies that have somewhat borrowed from that. I mean, the beginning of Halloween, they're going to pick him up in an asylum in Smith Grove Sanitarium,
yeah,
and there's fucking you know crazy people walking around in fucking gowns and pouring down rain and shit. Uh, and I mean, look how many slasher movies or horror movies have something to do with a killer or something that broke out of an asylum or spent time in an asylum. My Bloody Valentine. Well, you can go all
yeah.
fucking day, but it's a popular thing to pick from, uh, even if the whole movie isn't based
Oh,
on that fear
absolutely.
alone.
Um, the next one that you found was algophobia.
I think,
Sure. That's the fear
yeah.
of pain. And when when I read over that list you sent me, like the first thing that kind of came to mind as far as like pain value goes was Saw.
Hmm.
A specific few like stood out as far as pain, like the oh famous eyeball. key behind the eyeball,
Right.
thing. One where the guy had all like the chains and hooks like through his body that he had to like fucking yoke out. And then there's that last one through his mandible and like the bomb went off beforehand. The worst though, because the one that really came to mind for that one was it's one of the later ones. I don't know, five, six, seven, something like that. But it was the black guy that had the twisty things where his
Oh yeah,
arms
yeah,
start to
yeah, yeah,
twist and snap, and his legs start to twist and fucking snap. Then his head
yeah.
finally, goes full blown Reagan.
Right. That
But
one's gnarly. In the first one, excuse me, in the first one there was the dude that was he had to crawl through the cage filled with razor wire.
oh yeah, and they were like their stomach acid on the floor. Like that's how
Right.
deep them
Yeah.
things went.
Huh.
There's the famous one of sawing your own foot off. That was kind
Right.
of the premise of the title of the franchise. Um,
Another one for this one is well, I mentioned it earlier when we were talking Hostel.
yeah,
Uh, those movies are pretty gnarly, and they they film it in a way to make you think about the pain you would feel if you were in that situation.
yeah, the Asian lady eyeball that got me.
Yeah, yeah.
Boing, 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 boing. That one got me. Then when they snip that motherfucker off and all the yellow shit starts oozing out. Yeah, I went to the
Hell
eye doctor
yeah.
the next day after watching that for the first time. All I could think about. I forgot about those movies. That's again, those are more movies that if you just want to watch people get hacked up, they're entertaining. But the
Right.
storyline after the first one is just like, come on now. Like,
And here's the thing, like it might not the story might not be that bad, but when I found out what the movie's about, I don't give a fuck about the story. I'm just there
yeah,
for the kills.
right.
That's all it's supposed to be. That's if that's the main draw of the movie, I don't care too much about the story. I'm just going to watch it and enjoy for what it is.
That's why we love
So
80s movies.
exactly, nothing has to make sense.
No,
Fucking quit worrying about that shit.
just
Fuck
gonna
with
watch
that.
somebody get bludgeoned to death in a sleeping bag.
Fuck yes. Oh, sorry, I got way too excited about that.
All right, so the next one is
I can't wait
oh
to hear you say this
Jesus.
one.
Yeah, my ass. Auto automatonophobia.
Sure.
He'll put it on the screen so when he edits later.
Oh.
That is the fear of human-like inanimate figures. So, in other words, things that aren't alive that appear alive is how I took it, and I came up with the oh so terrific 2005's Ginger Dead Man, starring Gary Busey. Because who doesn't fucking love Gary Busey?
That one's fantastic.
And
But well, that's because that's a Full Moon Pictures movie, isn't it?
I think so.
That and
Yeah,
like Evil Bong and the Puppet Masters and all that
yeah,
shit. Yeah, all that shit's fucking gold. If you disagree, I don't care. It's
right.
fucking
But it's
gold.
he's a gingerbread man,
Right.
legitimately, but he stabs people and shoots people with a nail gun and all kinds of other fun shit.
Right.
The other one I put in since now that Halloween is over and my wife is trying to put all of our Christmas shit up, is Krampus. Uh,
Crumpus or Krampus?
yes, Krampus, potato, potato.
I'm
Yeah,
pretty sure one spelled with an A, one spelled with a U, but that's cool.
I mean, whatever. You're the one over here got me trying to pronounce all these goddamn names of phobias.
I just think
Uh,
it's funny. I would say the same shit that you're saying. So
yeah, true. But Krampus, uh, was in 2015, and the Krampus himself isn't the thing behind it. At some point in that movie, toys kind of come to life in an evil manner. Fucking was it the clown like Jack? Was it a Jack in the Box? Just a clown doll? I can't remember. But
oh,
he was
I
he was fucking
don't know.
terrifying.
I'm gonna have to.
Uh,
I got it. I got it off the shelf to watch here soon, since we're moving towards Christmas now. So
yeah,
I
everybody
got.
forgets
I'll have
about
to.
Thanksgiving.
Well, we're getting a Thanksgiving horror movie now. I think Eli Roth is doing it, right?
Yeah, but we have Thanksgiving, and that's all you need.
I mean, true. That or Poultrygeist. Isn't that turkey
Oh,
and Poultrygeist?
Jesus Christ. Oh,
Okay.
man. Uh,
Good evening, folks. Apologies for the interruption to your current programming. I, Randall Berghoff, here at WPKV Action News 13, have been made aware of a developing situation from a field reporter. It's not him, is it? Are you kidding me? Developing situation with field reporter Haywood Japulmaka. Let's go to see what Haywood has to say. Evening, Haywood. Can you hear me?
And my
There he
name
is.
is Haywood Japulmakak. On location, looking for the skunk ape.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Haywood. Didn't we fire you months ago? I don't think you're on assignment at any location for us right now.
Nah, I'm pretty sure I've been on assignment for
Yeah, sure.
a
Okay.
good few months now. But, anyway, I think I have found a trail leading us to Philip. So, come on, we're gonna go check him out.
Who is Philip? Can you fill us in on that?
Philip is the skunk ape.
Okay,
We
Philip
gotta
is
try
the
to
skunk
fight.
ape.
Try to be
Y'all getting this?
quiet.
Good.
I found Philip's
That's-
house.
The skunk ape lives in the house. All right.
Let's see if he's inside.
Do you think that's a good Hey.
Philip.
All right, roll with it. Yeah.
Philip! Philip, are you home?
Riveting stuff, folks.
I'm pretty sure that I smell him. That's just me. I found Philip! I found Philip! I found Philip!
Oh.
Oh no!
Aw. What'd you turn it off for? All right. Well, I guess we'll when we have further, we'll come back to you guys. Trust me, we're not gonna miss this. Put it back on. Put it back on.
Back
all
on
right, so,
target.
yeah, moving on from that, we have
Say it carefully.
Phobia, which the first time that I read it, I thought it was the fear of pedophiles. But it is not. It is the fear of dolls slash like inanimate objects becoming possessed. So I just kind of went with dolls. And the first one I came out with was Dead Silence from 2007 because
Mhm.
I fucking love that movie. And those ventriloquist dummies are creepy as hell. I, I do not have a fear of dummies and dolls and shit like that, but fucking creep me out, dude.
Yeah.
They follow you
That
with their
that
eyeballs.
that movie it catches a lot. Here's the thing. I think if that movie had come out in the 80s, it would be absolutely revered these days. Like
Oh,
people would fucking
100%.
love it. Um
100%.
and nowadays it's like I don't hear a whole lot of love for it. Like I know a lot of people who love it, and I know a whole lot of people who shit on it. But Dead Silence is fucking good in my opinion. Some
I
good
think
jump
so
scares
too.
too.
There's some good jump scares. The lady. Oh, the lady's creepy. But like I said, it's a great movie. Next I dove way back in the yesteryear machine in 1989 and found Puppet Master.
Hell yeah.
I
You know
love that movie.
they sell these like figures that are life size from what they were in the movie.
Yeah.
Outrageously expensive.
Yeah.
outrageously expensive. I would love to fucking have all of them like on a fucking shelf back here just lined up. No, I ain't spending
Oh,
that
me
much.
too.
Sorry. I'll spend
Me
money on
too.
some dumb shit, but no.
Um, the next one after pediophobia is pedophobia. Pedophobia is the fear of children because, fuck them kids.
Right.
Hmm.
Village of the Damned.
The first one I came up with was kind of obvious in my opinion, and I try my best to kind of avoid, the obvious ones unless it's
Right.
the
Because everybody
subject
knows
at
the fucking
hand.
obvious ones.
Right. Everybody
Everybody
knows
always
the obvious
talks
one.
about the obvious ones.
Right. So the obvious one in this is 1976's The Omen. Um, Damien's a creepy fucking kid.
Yeah, anybody who's seen that movie is not creeped out by that kid. They themselves have something creepy about them. So,
Oh yeah. The next one that I found though is one of my personal favorites, and it's a movie that hardly ever gets talked about, and that's Sinister. Because god damn it, is that a good fucking movie? I love both of them, and
yeah,
no one ever talks about it. We hardly ever
yeah,
talk about it, but I will sit back and watch that shit for like the 150th time and enjoy every minute of it.
hell yeah. Both the Sinisters are great movies. And that in that first one, I mean the fucking the watching the movies with the kids and everything. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's some creepy shit.
it
And
is.
that lawnmower scene. Oh,
I was
god damn it!
all of a sudden, oh shit!
Right.
I
I just peed a
watched
little. I just peed a little.
I watched that movie in theaters,
Oh,
and I can tell you like that scene happened, and everybody gasped, and then from
right,
somewhere up front, you hear this. What the fuck? I've never laughed so hard during a horror movie in my fucking life.
right. I'm really fucking glad I went in the theater for people to see my reaction to that because, like
Yeah.
I mean, it didn't fucking like I wasn't terrified of the whole movie or nothing, but that one
I
scare
mean,
like
it's
fucked
it's
me up
a
for a couple minutes.
it's a
My
good
heart
it,
was like,
that's a good fucking pop scare, and
right,
everybody that watches horror movies, "Oh, that movie didn't fucking scare me." Like, it doesn't have to be the movie itself doesn't have to be scary, but a good pop scare is going to be effective. Just that sudden, oh fuck, you know, that's what a lot of these movies are about. It's a series of fucking jump scares. They're easy,
yeah,
just a simple volume change is enough to make a good pop scare. Excuse me.
definitely.
Yeah, that tasted like oysters and beer.
Ah, still
Yeah, the whole
last night's
24
dinner's hanging around.
the whole 24 hours later. Oh,
Um,
all right.
but
So
yeah, like that's and just to be clear, we're not necessarily a fan of movie that's just pop scares. We talked about this before, but just so it's there, like we feel. Do you agree, Henry? We feel like a movie like has to really earn its jump scares and shit.
yes,
Yeah, yeah. But that
and
way, if anybody's
and
shit,
Sinister definitely earned the gold star. The next couple phobias were just kind of hit and miss. I couldn't really. I mean, they were. I don't know. They were what they were. Germophobia is the fear of germs, viruses, and bacteria. Um,
we all have fucking that since COVID,
yeah,
right?
pretty much. Uh,
At least we did in that first year of COVID.
the first movie I found was 28 Days Later. It was the first one that popped into my head. That was back
Right.
in 2002, and then in 2008
Mm.
you had Quarantine. Um, both are good, decent movies.
You could say Cabin Fever, the first Cabin Fever. I never saw the remake or whatever, whether it was supposed to be a remake or I never saw that. But that first one that Eli Roth did,
Yeah,
like that was a disease getting passed around. You know that like and it turned. I mean, not that it was a great movie or anything, but it was some gnarly ass fucking makeup effects and shit
Yeah.
in that movie.
The next was Boogie Phobia,
Boogie?
which is the fear of the boogeyman. I didn't know that was a real thing until even when you sent it to me, I still didn't believe it, and I had to look it up more, and it's fucking real.
See, you should trust me.
There are people in this world that have a legitimate phobia over something that doesn't even exist.
Hey, how the fuck do you know? He might be out there. He might reach out from under your bed tonight and lick your toes. And if that happens, it's not me. I'm not doing that. It's don't
If
even look.
if
It's
that
not me.
happens, I might get an erection. You know, who knows?
There's something fucking wrong with us. But yeah,
Um,
the boogeyman. Go ahead.
that one's pretty obvious, and that's the movie The Boogeyman, which came out like just recently, like back in June of 2023. Um, I haven't watched it yet.
So I haven't seen that one yet. I'm sorry, my mouth's full.
Yeah,
But there was the Boogeyman or just Boogeyman or whatever, and Boogeyman 2 that came out like early 2000s, I think.
yeah,
Saw the first one, never saw the second one. Wasn't that great. But
no,
this is one of those that gets pulled from all the time.
yes,
Uh the one you were talking about earlier, Halloween. They call Michael Myers
yeah.
the
They call him the
Boogeyman in that
Boogeyman.
movie.
Yeah,
And
was that
what
the Boogeyman?
right, and name one slasher movie that you couldn't say they were treating that slasher or killer like the boogeyman,
Leprechaun.
So it gets pulled from all the time. He's pretty goddamn boogie, let me tell you. All right. That's
The
more of a
Boogeyman's not
horror
going to get
comedy.
stopped by dirty shoes.
You don't know that. How are you the expert on the boogeyman if he doesn't exist? I don't hear any answers through my earpieces.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Apologies again for the interruption, folks. Randall Berghoff with WPKV Action News 13 here again. Apparently, we have regained connection with our field reporter, Haywood Japomacock. Okay, let's check in with Haywood and see where he's at. Oh, it's still happening. Oh, turn it back back on, motherfucker.
And we're back.
Ah,
Ooh.
what? Yeah. Next was claustrophobia, and I think everybody knows what
Yeah.
claustrophobia is.
Yep, we hadn't
Fear
gotten
of
that one yet. I missed it.
fear of tight spaces. Spaces. Um,
Which is bullshit if you're afraid of that. I am still big, but I used to be big as fuck. And I wasn't scared of getting stuck because I never got stuck. But I was kind of like a hamster, as long as the head gets through, the body will squish. That was me. So,
Big Al, the big fucking hamster. Oh man. I picked 3 movies for this because all 3 of them kind of drove home big time, in my opinion.
right.
And it was kind of the principle of, at least the principle between the first 2. The third one is just because I like this movie. But the first one is 2005's The Descent.
Yes. Great
It
movie.
takes place in a fucking cave, and I'm not afraid of caves, but I am definitely not going spelunking anytime fucking soon.
Right. Yeah, fuck
I
that.
can't believe somebody suggested the name spelunking and was
and
serious
expected to be
about it.
taken seriously. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
I'm a spelunker. But either way, yeah.
You get the hell out of my store, pal. No,
Right.
sorry.
That's the type of thing that gets you shot down in Alabama.
Damn
You go
straight.
spelunk yourself in private, mister. But it takes place in a cave, and then there's cave people, goblins, monsters, whatever the fuck you want to call them.
Right.
But
That was
anything
the
in a
other one I
cave is
was
creepy.
right. That was the other one I was talking about for the fear of the dark. Specifically those scenes where they're like hiding in there and you're
Yeah,
seeing like in the green, shade, these fucking creatures and everything. Like,
yeah.
yeah, that was some scary shit. So they definitely used the fear of the dark in that movie a lot, along
Oh,
with the
100%.
claustrophobia.
The second one is 2010's Devil because it takes place inside of an elevator.
Right.
I'm not claustrophobic. I don't like elevators.
Is it because I fart every time we're in an elevator together?
Yes.
It's fun. It's fun.
For you,
It's more fun with strangers, but if it's just me and you, you're still catching it, man. I'm sorry.
it's fun. It's fun for you, and you need to go see a doctor or a priest.
It's
One
this new
one of
diet
the
I'm on.
two.
It's this new diet I'm on. I could be possessed by a demon at certain times too, but high
Do you just
protein.
do you just eat boiled eggs like breakfast, lunch,
Yep.
and dinner?
High protein. Yep.
Ugh. uh, after after that, which by the way, The Devil is a good fucking movie if you want to actually sit down and watch it.
Yeah,
It used
devil's
to
not
be
bad.
on
Devil's not
yeah,
bad.
it used to be on Netflix. I don't know if it still is or not. But the last movie for the claustrophobia thing, it fits in like 8 other fucking categories up here, but it's the movie
Right.
1408. Um, I fucking love that movie, and it gets no love anywhere. The
Yeah.
amount of so the claustrophobia thing comes in is that he gets like kind of paranormally stuck in a hotel room.
All
And,
right.
and not like a suite. It's just a fucking room with a bed and an old TV. Like that's
Right.
about it, and uh
A lot of people wouldn't consider that claustrophobia, but when you think about being stuck
yeah.
with no way out in this little
Yep.
room, like, yeah, that's claustrophobia.
Yeah.
If you really pay attention to that, that's
But I wanted to squeak that movie in somewhere and I saw an opening, so I went with it. 1408 is a good
that's
movie. Lots of plot twists, lots of just mind explosions. Uh
right.
just a good underrated movie that gets very, very little attention.
Yeah.
Uh Choleraphobia?
Cooler. It's the clown one. It's the clown
Choleraphobia. It's the fear of fucking
one.
clowns.
Yeah.
Um, and that's kind of self-explanatory.
Yeah.
Um,
Do we really need to go through the list of clown movies? I think everybody that would be watching this probably fucking knows them. And if you don't, you can contact us on Instagram or whatever, and we will tell you all the fucking clown movies, but we're not gonna waste important time right now talking about
right
the clown
here,
movies that most people know about.
here you go. The main ones to watch is Clown, Killer Clowns from Outer Space, It. Don't watch Killjoy.
Well, unless you like really shitty B movies, then you can watch Killjoy. It's not gonna be scary though. You're not gonna be afraid of Killjoy.
Nah. After that would be the necrophobia, which is the fear of death and dying. You
Okay.
brought up a good point because you perceived it different than I did. I perceived it as just bludgeon deaths, brutal, kind of over the top deaths.
Right.
So I picked Terrifier and Hatchet
Right.
because those are some of the most over the top fucking awesome kills I could think of on the top of my head.
Right.
Anything Victor Crowley did was awesome, and Art the Clown said, "Hold my beer."
Right.
Essentially. Um, and then you perceived
I
it
look
though as a looming like death, knowing it's coming type of thing, and you brought up
right.
the Final Destination franchise, which I forgot all about.
Right. That was that those and again, it's most people watch those just for the deaths to see how people get taken out,
Yeah,
because they're over the top and crazy and everything. But yeah, the like fucking what's his name, Tony
Tony
Todd.
Todd. Yeah,
He basically plays the personification of death in those
yes.
movies, and he like lets you know like right around the fucking corner. So you the whole time you feel this looming fear, this feeling of doom, impending doom. And honestly,
I mean,
I think we're both right. I think it's kind of the fear of whether you're seeing somebody get fucking brutally murdered and being like, God damn, that would suck. I don't want to go out that way. That's a fear
yeah.
of that kind of death. So I think both are absolutely right. But yeah, we just perceive that one differently.
Next is the
But
phagophobia.
yeah,
That is the fear of being eaten. I really don't know why, but the very first scene that popped into my head was right behind your head. It was the movie Jaws from 1975. Um, Specifically Quint's scene versus the opening scene of that movie. Because the opening
because you
scene
go ahead.
was the
Sorry.
opening scene, you know what happens, but you don't really see it.
Right.
But Quint, you watch it,
Yeah. You watch him
and
get eaten.
yeah. The second one was one of your favorites, and that was 1993's Carnosaur.
Oh,
Fuck,
it's such a horrible fucking movie.
it's an acid-filled Jurassic Park on steroids. That's all it is.
Yep. Bravo, fucking Roger Corman on that one.
It is a much more lower budget, much less kid-friendly version of Jurassic Park.
Right.
There's lots of red paint used in that movie. Lots of it.
I'm fairly certain, like literally right out of the pail. Like,
Some of
let's
it
get
was
this
still
tinted.
separated. And you can see hints of white in
They didn't shake that one up good enough. Let's film that
it.
again, Roger. Fuck no, print.
Oh man. All right. So next we have phasmophobia.
Yep.
Sure. And that's the fear of ghosts is first one was the more mainstream of the three because I did choose three for this just because they all kind of have their own cool elements. The first one is 2010's Insidious. Um,
Right.
I picked Insidious because I feel like that Insidious and The Conjuring were almost kind of like battling it out there for a little bit, like in the 2010s, as far as like the universe concept.
Yeah.
Um, and I feel like The Conjuring just gets a lot more fucking love than Insidious does, and Insidious is a great, great movie.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
that jump
Particularly
scare,
that first one.
that jump scare with the man in the red or with the red face, got me the first time that I
Yeah.
watched that movie. After that, just because of the opener, that was 2002's Ghost Ship. Uh, the first 5 minutes of that movie is fucking great, and then it's a dumpster fire after that.
Right. But it's worth
Um,
watching for the first 5 minutes.
it really is, and in a nutshell, it's not a terrible movie. It just kind of falls flat. The opening scene of that movie was so ramped the fuck up that it just made everything else feel lame.
Right.
You know,
And just so we're probably going to catch a little bit of hell for this one because I would almost venture to say that in recently, like in the last like year, I've heard more talk about the opening of Ghost Ship than I have Insidious.
Yeah.
It's the particularly the opening is gets a whole lot more love nowadays than it ever did before. So that those two might be battling it out for being the most obvious of these picks. But I don't give a fuck with it.
Yeah.
Comment if you're upset about it, and I'm gonna just like it and be like,
The
"Have a merry day."
the third one that I picked, that'll be the last one I hit on for this phobia, was 2001's 13 Ghosts, because that movie needs so much more attention than it actually gets. And every time I see this fucking meme, I get excited because I want that Netflix original of the backstory behind all 13 ghosts. I think I would watch that shit every night.
That would be legit.
But again, it's a Matthew
I'm
Lillard
down.
movie. Who doesn't fucking like Matthew Lillard?
I mean, I'm sure there's some out there, but not
And those
many.
people are probably communists.
Right. That dude's like cooler than the other side of the pillow. Like, I would love to fucking meet him.
Um, Either way, it's just an overall. That movie is just fun and twisted, like all at the same time. The sliding glass door scene
Oh yeah.
is fantastic. The jackal scared the shit out of me though. Like, well, I won't say scared the shit, but he was the one that made me feel the most uneasy.
Right.
Because he was the. It's been a long time. The jackal was the one with like the cage around his head, right?
Yeah. That character was, in my opinion, probably the scariest of the ghosts. All of them were pretty creepy,
All of them
but
were great. The Juggernaut.
yeah.
What was the chick that had all the fucking cuts
Yeah.
all
The
over?
princess or something like that, wasn't it?
Something like that. I can't remember. It's been. I need to watch that movie again. But they were all
Yeah.
creepy, and they were all fucking awesome.
And we're back one last time. Hey Wood, I see you have possibly sustained some injuries. How are things going on your end?
I don't want to talk about it. I'm so puckered.
I cannot think of a more deserving human being. So Haywood, we'll check in with you later. Thank you for
signing off.
This entertainment. It absolutely is. Hey, don't judge. Okay. Again, folks, sorry for the interruption, but we wanted to bring you this breaking news from field reporter Haywood Japumakak. This is Randall. Yeah. This is Randall Burkhoff signing off for the night. And our thoughts and condolences with Philip this Cupcake. Hope he's doing okay. Because I wouldn't be at that experience. Good night, folks.
Was spectrophobia, which is like the fear of mirrors and reflections.
That's another one like that pops up a lot more in movies than I think people remember.
Yeah, certain scenes in movies will. What's the stereotype? Home invasion. The chick's always getting ready for the bath, and she opens the medicine cabinet, which has got a fucking mirror on it. She shuts it, and
Right.
boom, there's the bad guy. Then she turns around, and nobody's there.
Right.
Spooky.
That well, I mean, there's the movie Mirrors.
Yeah. That jaw scene when the chick's in the tub and her reflection just goes Victor Crowley on herself, and then that happens to the real chick inside the bathtub. That was the scene that initially, as soon as I saw Mirrors, that's what popped into my head was that one scene because it does have a little bit of like
Oh
cheesy
yeah,
CGI in it at places, but overall that's a great scene.
yeah,
It's a great movie. It's a cool concept.
yeah. But in the first Conjuring, the little music box has the mirror on the inside of the lids, and when the music stops, you can see
Ah, I
the
forgot all about
like.
that.
It gets used so much that I don't think people remember it.
Technophobia is the
You say you
fear
hate
of
technology, huh?
raves and all the but the fear of technology, uh be honest with you, I skipped that one by accident when I was writing shit in my notebook. But
No problem.
but
We can wing that.
just off the top of my head, uh Jurassic Park.
Yeah, that was technology that they used to bring
It
that about,
yeah. That's
and
I
shit
mean,
went
just
crazy.
off the top of my head, that's what pops up.
Terminator.
Terminator, and then what's the fucking god damn it.
Um.
The mall robot.
Oh, Chopping Mall.
Thank you. Jesus
Fuck
Christ.
yeah.
I could not get that out to save my ass.
Yep. Chopping Mall. Um. Oh, let's see. Megan or M3 Jan as
Yeah, M3 Jan, as
right.
Charles Schwanson said it. Uh
And let me tell you something right now. Anybody who isn't taking it serious that artificial intelligence is going to be a threat at some point, you really ought to start thinking about this shit because they can do some fucking crazy shit. Everybody should have at least a touch of technophobia at this point. All right.
I just don't want anything going in my butt. That's all I ask. I'll live in the
AI does what
people
it
zoo.
wants.
I'll live in the people zoo. Just don't do anything to my butt.
Right.
It's fragile.
Are you going to be a poo flinger in the People's Zoo?
Yes.
You're
Well, that
going to
depends
get
on
something
what the
up your butt.
punishment is. Hang on. That's I'll take a lashing to throw a turd at a robot. But
A lashing is one thing. Something like shoving a potato up your ass so you can't shit in your hand again, that's a different story. So
yeah.
yeah,
All
I'll
right.
take a lashing for sure.
The last one though is xenophobia, which is the fear of something different or strange, like aliens, um, or like your creepy neighbor.
Right.
I
Like
just
the Clopex and the Burbs.
yeah, I just kind of stuck to the alien thing, and the first one I came up with was the Thing. John Carpenter's The Thing, because every time I have an excuse to talk about that movie, I'm fucking gonna, because it's the best horror movie ever.
It's an obvious one, but yeah, absolutely. Fucking great movie.
It is. The second that was for a specific scene, and it's not a horror movie. Uh, but it's 1993's Fire in the Sky. Because even though it isn't a horror movie, that abduction scene is fucking terrifying.
Yes,
It
absolutely.
is probably the most graphic and fuck you up abduction scene in movie history.
Yeah.
The
I was
amount
actually
of
talking to
detail.
somebody. Yes, exactly. I was talking to somebody earlier about I mean it was comments on TikTok, but I don't know if you've ever watched any of the documentaries about Travis Walton's abduction. I don't care. I don't give a fuck what you
All of
believe.
them. All of
All
them.
those documentaries, that fucking movie,
That
like
motherfucker had things going his butt.
which Henry has said that's his line. You're not crossing that line with him. So, but I don't know if you'd have a choice if those aliens came and got you.
Oh, I wouldn't. I would just cry and weep.
I'll tell you something. I love you like a brother, okay? But if these motherfuckers come and take you like that, I'm not gonna walk. I'm not coming back. and being like, "Where's he at? Where's he at?" And then you're missing for a week. I know what's happening, and I'm going to fuck home. And
Hey,
you just when you get
if
to a
I
gas
ever not
station, you
answer
call
my
me.
cell phone, it's just gonna be like, oh well, that's a wrap. Henry's having things
When
going his butt.
when it's all over and you waddle to a gas station or something, you call me and I'll come pick you up. Okay. But I'm not taking the chance at going through that myself. All right.
All
So
right.
nothing but love, but best of luck.
Yeah. All right. Well, that pretty much wraps things up as far as phobias and things going into my butt.
Been an outstanding episode. I love it.
Yeah, we're getting better.
What's the phobia about things going in your butt? Because you got
That,
that
that is an out hole only.
one.
I tell my wife all the time because she'll walk by and like instead of smack like my butt like I do her, like she'll take her finger and try to, you know, yoo-hoo, and I will
Why do
punch her
they
in the
do that?
chest.
What is fucking wrong with them, man? Women are fucking weird. Y'all are weird. If any women that are
Especially
watching,
mine
you're
because
fucking weird.
mine has definitely heard, seen, smelt the things that come out of my butt. Like,
Exactly.
been real. It's been fun. And until next
It's
week,
been it's been real fun. It's been real fun.
yeah.
Yeah,
Well, thank you for joining us for another week of stupidity and unplanned events.
absolutely. Because we didn't plan much for this. So
Now we
I don't
came
know if
up
you
with
guys
this
could tell,
idea at like 8 o'clock
but
this morning, and it's now 7:45 this evening.
so hope you enjoyed it and all, you know. But
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll see you next week.
all right, see you guys. That's why I'm so fucked up by it today. Like this morning, I got up, I was fucking freezing. We didn't have no heat running last night. Uh, are the wolves howling again?
No, there's some asshole turning around in my driveway.
It looked like you were just
Ah,
like picking at the wall because your hand. I
oh
guess
yeah, that's right. Because
is the
you can't see
curtain.
my room. I was moving the curtain.
Your finger painting, buddy.
Yeah, where's my poop?
We think we're way funnier than we actually are. I think.
Oh, 100%.